Steal from the Emperor, will you? I'll show the little arrow slinger some real marksmanship. No! 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 No!
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
So, Wizards of the Coast, in agreement with the Kirk and the CAG, the Commander Rules Committee, and the Commander Advisory Group have all decided it's probably best if control of the Commander format, as far as bans are concerned, is left with Wizards of the Coast themselves. And I can't say I blame any of the parties involved. To preface, I didn't say this in the previous video, but I'll say it now. Bullying of any kind is never condoned. Harassment, death threats, or threats in general over a cardboard tabletop card game are one, ridiculous, and two, never warranted. Now, it's a shame that what was probably a vocal minority has shifted the landscape of an entire format that we all have come to love. It's truly a shame and disgusting that this minority of voices was able to throw the same tantrum they threw in the grocery store when they were 7 years old, and mommy's buying cornflakes, but I want frosted flakes, so I'm going to throw my body on the ground and, but I want frosted flakes. It's a real shame that those voices have swayed this format in not a harmful direction, but just a different one that maybe is less beneficial to the health of the format as a whole. It is also absolutely disgusting that, from everything I've been reading, if social media is anything to be believed, a lot of the vitriol was directed at the one woman member of the Rules Committee. And I find that easy to believe because if you were one of the individuals taking part in threatening and bullying and aggressive messaging of any kind, I highly advise that you go outside, look at some sunlight, and touch some grass, and maybe reflect. Did that go the way you wanted it to go? Probably not.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
And that's all I'm going to say about the knuckle-dragging mongoloids that probably mouth-hugged the water fountain in school when they were kids. Yummy, yummy H2O. So what does that mean for the format of EDH going forward? Probably not much different. Ever since COVID, Wizards of the Coast has really found any way they can to milk us money cows as much as possible, and you can bank on that continuing. Them having control of the format just means, if anything, bans will probably roll out slower, and you can probably guarantee nothing will be unbanned in the foreseeable future. Along with this announcement, Wizards did give us a peek into the tool that they're developing to help players find compatible games. It is a bracket system of 4 brackets involving a litany of cards in certain brackets to help players determine if their decks are compatible to play. Now, me personally, this is just a new discussion of my deck's a 7. Everybody's deck is a 7. Nobody wants to honestly say their deck is a 9 or a 10. If you're me, you're honestly telling everybody, my deck's a 3, and I hope it does something. This is an opinion that is probably not going to be received well, but it's my personal opinion. The conversations of deck power level from 1 to 10, or even this new discussion of brackets, is something that could be alleviated at the player level. And I know some people find these conversations hard, but I don't really feel like having the conversation is the issue. I feel like honesty is the issue. What do I mean by honesty? Here is a real story of something that happened to me as a player during COVID. I was playing online on Discord servers, as a lot of us did. There was a pod of 4 players. I joined as one of them. We were all discussing our decks and what they did and how we felt they stacked up. One player was playing Jury, Master of the Review. He did disclose, with the God hand, as you would say in quotes, the deck could go off, but otherwise it diddled. It was a 6 or a 7, just like everybody else's is. That player, then in the opening hand, had the God hand, which I'm sure he got honestly. I am not saying he would lie or cheat over webcam on the internet during COVID. Would never happen. He proceeds to, turn 2, Lion's Eye Diamond, Mana Crypt, turn 1, Jury of the Review, turn 2, into some loop combo by turn 3 or 4 that killed all the other players on the board. Is that fine? Sure. Is it coincidence? Probably not. We shuffle up. We go to a new game. I figure, sure, maybe there's the 1% chance that he didn't stack the top of his deck with the God Hand. He starts a new deck. Okay, what power level is that deck? Well, it's casual, it's battle cruiser, it's a 5 or a 6 at best, but with the right hand, it could be good. Great, let's start. Sure enough, by turn 4 or 5 of that game, he infinites out, we're all dead, he wins. Honesty. That player was not being honest about the construction of the deck, nor probably the play of the deck. My second point, complaining. Another point that is probably going to not be received well, and maybe I'm a product of my generation. And I'm not going to tell you what generation, but back in my day, we didn't complain. We just moved on. I feel like that maybe is more important than anything. You might not like a game you play. You might not like the player you play. Put your deck back in the box and walk away. There's nothing saying that you have to play with them again. He's saying you don't have the right to be upset about a situation like that. You, of course, have that right. But I'm also saying you're not going to get through your favorite orgy without seeing a dick or two along the way.
Hey, what's up, guys? Y'all cool?
And any talk of power levels or brackets ain't going to change it. The conversation's just going to change. The situation will be the same. So all this being said, I don't really want to spend any more time on this, but if you do find yourself walking through that dank group of commander pods, and you happen to be walking and you just, you just say, sir, sir, please, sir, no thank you. I'm on my way to the living room. I hear they're doing great things in the living room. Fine wet work, as it were.
What was that? What'd he say?
I think he said he pisses on dudes.
Just, move on. Move on. You'll be much more happy than that player is. If you enjoyed the conversation, feel free to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, engage in the algorithm. It's going to help me out going forward and hopefully making more of these videos for you to enjoy. And I'll see you on the next one.
Oh, I need my water.